A tectonic weapon is a hypothetical device or system which could create earthquakes, volcanoes, or similar events in specified locations by interference with the Earth's geological processes. It was defined in 1992 by Alexey Vsevolodovich Nikolaev, corresponding member Russian Academy of Sciences. A tectonic or seismic weapon would be the use of the accumulated tectonic energy of the Earth's deeper layers to induce a destructive earthquake. He added to set oneself the objective of inducing an earthquake is extremely doubtful. Roger Clark, lecturer in geophysics at Leeds University, said in the respected journal Nature in 1996, responding to a newspaper report that there had been two secret Soviet programs, Mercury and Volcano, aimed at developing a tectonic weapon that could set off earthquakes from great distance by manipulating electromagnetism, said we don't think it is impossible, or wrong, but past experience suggests it is very unlikely. According to Nature, these programs had been unofficially known to Western geophysicists for several years. According to the story, the Mercury program began in 1987, 3 tests were conducted in Kyrgyzstan, and Volcano's last test occurred in 1992. Such weapons, whether or not they exist or are feasible, are a source of concern in official circles. For example, U.S. Secretary of Defense William S. Cohen said on the 28th of April 1997 at the Conference on Terrorism, Weapons of Mass Destruction, and U.S. Strategy, University of Georgia, while discussing the dangers of false threats, others are engaging even in an eco-type of terrorism whereby they can alter the climate, set off earthquakes, volcanoes remotely through the use of electromagnetic waves. New Zealand's unsuccessful Project SEAL program during World War II attempted to create tsunami waves as a weapon. It was reported in 1999 that such a weapon might be viable. Nikola Tesla claimed a small steam-powered mechanical oscillator he was experimenting with in 1898 produced earthquake-like effects, but this has never been replicated. The TV show Mythbusters in episode 60. E2.80.93 made a small machine based on the same principle but powered by electricity rather than steam. It produced vibrations in a large structure detectable 100 feet away, but no significant shaking, and they judged the effect to be a busted myth. The 1978 Convention on the Prohibition of Military or any other hostile use of environmental modification techniques is an international treaty ratified by 75 states, and signed by a further 17, that prohibits use of environmental modification techniques to cause earthquakes and tsunamis, amongst other phenomena. Harpel phenomena such as was used to create the 2010 Haiti earthquake. Conspiracy theories are usually presented as relating to the armed forces of the United States and formerly the Soviet Union. Evidences of such use is monitored and advanced. After the Haiti earthquake, it was widely reported that President Hugo Chavez of Venezuela made unsupported allegations that it had been caused by testing of a U.S. tectonic weapon. The newspaper Komsomolskaya Pravda of Moscow reported on page 1 on the 30th of May 1992 that a geophysical or tectonic weapon was actually developed in the USSR despite the UN convention, but that chief seismologist Major General V. Bokrov of the USSR Ministry of Defense categorically rejected any hints on the existence of tectonic weapons. While the British Talaboy bomb of World War II was called an earthquake bomb, the name came from its way of destroying very hardened targets by shaking their foundations as an earthquake would. It was never intended to cause an actual earthquake.
There's been a sharp rise in the death toll from the devastating earthquake that hit Haiti on Saturday. Almost 1,300 people are now known to have died. Many more are feared to be trapped under the rubble of collapsed buildings. The epicenter of the 7.2 magnitude quake was 150 kilometers southwest of the capital Port-au-Prince. Hospitals in the area are inundated and they are struggling to cope with the number of injured, which has almost doubled to around 6,000 people. Medical teams are being sent from Cuba and Ecuador amid concerns about the approach of a tropical storm.
Taliban fighters have taken over the security checkpoints around Kabul, trying to project calm over Afghanistan's capital and a population wearied by war. The country's president, Ashraf Ghani, has fled, but as yet no new leader has been declared. This man, Mullah Baradar, is likely to take his place, the senior Taliban figure congratulating the people of Afghanistan for their victory in a video released last night. The Taliban say they will ensure the interests of the people, but their fighters are now patrolling a deserted green zone, once filled with embassies and diplomats. And the international community is evacuating, not knowing what will happen next to the country they are quitting. Martha Fairley, ITV News.
For centuries, man has been ruled by science and industry, but that era is drawing to a close. We stand on the cusp of a new epoch, one of prophecy, puzzles, and signs in the sky. And that epoch begins today.
Our top story, today Springfield will experience a rare total eclipse of the sun. A solar eclipse is like a woman breastfeeding in a restaurant. It's free, it's beautiful, but under no circumstances should you look at it. We recommend using a homemade camera obscura, fashioned from an ordinary shoebox and paper towel tube. This was supposed to be pre-made. Fine, I'll do it myself. Where's the end of the freaking tape? Forget it, we'll do it next week.
The eclipse is today.
There's an eclipse when I say there's an eclipse!
Okay, people, we've hit penumbra. Brace yourself for umbra. I'm gonna see it first.
No, I'm gonna see it first.
Hit the road, you big load.
My space toy!
Oh, it's okay, homie. You can have my viewer.
But, Mom, you'll miss the eclipse.
There'll be another one in North Yemen in 2027.
We have totality, people.
Wow.
We'll be talking about this together for years.
For years.
I finally feel like part of a family.
Oh, I can't miss out. Just one little peek. It's beautiful.
Now, Marge, your eyes must stay completely covered for 2 full weeks.
Don't worry, honey. I'll be your seeing eye, Homer. We're in some kind of doctor room, bunch of stuff on the walls. It's kind of hard to describe. I'm going to take my break now.
Now, Simpsons, I must warn you, any stress could increase the blood pressure in Marge's eyeballs, leading to what we call Tex Avery syndrome.
On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. These carefully targeted actions are designed to disrupt the use of Afghanistan as a terrorist base of operations and to attack the military capability of the Taliban regime.
Dad, could you close the closet door?
For 15 years, everybody told me I was making it up. Everyone said it's just a story. There's no such thing as the boogeyman. But I was right.
Listen to me, Tim. It's time to grow up.
Nothing supernatural happened.
Hey, you're not getting weird on me again, are you?
No.
These feelings you're having,
I'm seeing things, Jess.
they're going to get worse unless you face this. Go home, Tim. Spend one night in that house. It will help. You okay?
It's just hard being back.
It takes a while. You'll be all right.
You want to tell me why you're following me around?
I wanted to ask you something. Is it true the boogeyman took your dad? Are you scared?
When you're afraid, close your eyes and count to 5. Sometimes it works for me. 1. What the hell was that? 2. 3. 4.
Please open the door!
5.
What happens when you get to 6? He's waiting for you.
President Obama speaking from the East Room of the White House, telling the nation and the world President Obama is in fact dead. It was a U.S.-led Osama bin Laden is dead.
He unveiled details that have never before been heard about how Obama was killed and what led to the American forces finding out where he was. It started when Obama took office.
Brandy and Glenn, we were hearing that a U.S. helicopter actually went down near the attack where Obama was killed.
Osama bin Laden, his death, we also now was at work for this occasion.
It says Osama bin Laden, terror mastermind, is reported dead.
We're hearing now that Prime Minister Harper is also going to give a statement tonight, I'm sure after we've heard from Osama bin Laden.
On Sunday afternoon, in which the president gave the go-ahead, he got the news later that Obama had been killed.
And everybody is waiting to hear him speak. But this is what we do know at this point. This has been sort of labeled as a situation that deals with national security. And what they're calling it is a national security development. And we've been saying that President Obama is going to speak about this extensively over the course of the next few minutes. We're waiting for that press conference to officially take place. And as soon as we do hear that, of course, we'll take you right to it.
Videos also show Afghans running toward departing Air Force C-130s, trying to grab a hold of the airplane fuselage as the planes start taking off. Presumably, these Afghans desperate to escape before experiencing the wrath of the Taliban. Even more horrifying and graphic, we should warn, are other video clips that appear to show bodies falling to the ground from a U.S. Air Force plane as the plane gains altitude.